Hello everyone, this is Critic giving you Game 5 in a best of 7 series between Team Liquid and Root here on Monolith Ridge. We have Liquid Jinro spawning as the pink Terran player, TLO spawning as the random Terran player over here at the what I call the 10 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have Root Catz spawning as the yellow Zerg, and then finally rounding it off, we have Root Drewbie spawning as the red Terran. So it'll be Terran versus Terran Zerg here on Monolith Ridge. Should be an interesting matchup. I believe Root has a 3-1 nothing lead in this matchup. So everything's on the line for Team Liquid. Team Liquid wants to try to force a Game 5 and a Game 6. We'll see if they will be able to do it. Maybe even force a Game 7, but right now they just need to focus on this game. Sorry, force a Game 6 and a Game 7. Right now, we see TLO just building a supply depot here very, very close to his mineral line. However, this may be a problem as there is a Zerg player here, and now Catz may try to go for a very, very effective spawning pool rush. Back over here, we now see Drewbie getting a refinery first, which normally means that he will be going for a delayed barracks. And after that delayed barracks, he will be able to get up that factory very, very easily, get that factory up and running, perhaps a 13 racks, followed by what I believe to be a 16 factory, and then trying to build a reactor on that barracks and then swap it out and double train Hellions. Hellions and Zerglings are very, very dangerous, especially against double Terran players, as those Terran players may try to create a lot of early Marines in order to fight back against those Zerglings. Jinro now creating a double front door, or double barracks front door. He should be able to also get a supply depot here, and this does work out well for him. It allows Marines to sit along this side and this side as well, shooting at any Zerglings and even some Banelings if they try to come in. And that will be able to slow them down tremendously. Back over here, we now also see a double barracks coming as well. So both players doing very similar strategies, and because of this, they must have seen Root and know what exactly the game plan is, knowing that Root does like to go for very, very fast, effective rushes to try to win these games early. We do see 6 Zerglings now being created. We also see Drewbie getting that one factory. We should be getting a reactor in just a moment, waiting for that 50 minerals. There it is, and now he's going to make a liar out of me by not getting that reactor. No, there we go. Root Drewbie finally getting that reactor there. So currently getting that reactor, will be able to do a reactor swap in just a moment. SCV of TLO does quickly see that and was able to spot it out. Zergling's now trying to run around the map. His partner trying to ping the map to tell him to try to take down this one Zergling or one SCV. SCV going to come up the ramp, take some damage from those Zerglings. Those Zerglings do have that SCV's days numbered. Running around on the inside of the space, he does see that there is no gas currently being mined off of the extractor, and now knows that he pretty much knows that those Zerglings will only be having that metabolic boost, doesn't have to really worry about roaches. Bunker now being placed down, as well as those barracks are being moved down in order to try to make a very, very narrow choke point. It looks as though, yes, Jinro should be doing the same thing as well, otherwise this is not going to look nearly as pretty, as those Zerglings are going to be able to simply run by. But this is going to be very, very difficult for those Zerglings to run by anyways, because of these barracks here acting and creating a very decent wall. Jinro should be lifting off his barracks, not quite sure what he's doing or not doing there. Double bunkers now down here, and this looks like this may become an economic game, as what currently Catz does not see any of the bunkers or the barracks being repositioned, and now we see another command center being placed down. So TLO and Team Liquid in general going for a very, very more late game. It may work, it may not. We'll see what happens now, as we are now going for a starport and most likely Banshees with Cloak, as only training Hellions and Marines do open up a lot of gas play. Now Zergling's going to try to run up that ramp, and those Zerglings quickly, 2 of them quickly getting taken down there, realizing the defensive structure that is already in play. So if those Zerglings or try to run up that ramp, they will take a lot of damage here. Zerglings now trying to run up that ramp once again, and now getting blocked there, and now those Zerglings trying to run away once again. The Hellions able to torch one Marine on that high ground. I'm not quite sure how a Hellion can shoot up a ramp, especially against a cliff. But yeah, physics of StarCraft doesn't always have to make sense. Hellions now moving back over here. So Drewbie, with 4 of those Hellions, should have been able to deal a lot of damage, was not able to. We now see Catz currently power droning, so transitioning into a lot of harvesters in order to get it back into this game. And now we also see a Baneling nest trying to come in. So that Baneling nest does mean that a lot of these bunkers are going to be taking a lot of damage, and now Liquid TLO just getting more some tech labs in order perhaps for Marauders. Marauders are going to be critical in enabling the Marauders to try to slow down some of those banelings before they're able to explode within that splash radius. We do see one Banshee now coming in. The Banshee does have 2 kills already, and now getting up to 3. Marines now trying to get over there. It does not look like cloaking research is anywhere close, as that Banshee doing a good job of just turning around and shooting, causing some distance and creating some distance. Those Marines trying to catch up, unable to. More Marines now funneling over as well, as that Banshee is being forced to pull away down to 62 hit points. But that one Banshee already has a lot of kills so far, and still racking them up. That one missile turret, however, should be completed in just a second, as that Banshee now making its way off to the north. Will the Marines be able to shoot it down? Yes, able to shoot it down there. So Jinro does have an expansion here. Same thing with TLO. Both sides are going to be able to get a very strong economy going. And we also see Catz getting the hatchery and Drewbie getting the hatchery. So transitioning into mid-game, as we are not going to just see very, very fast rushes. We may actually even get to see tier 2 from all of these players here. TLO now getting more bunkers, just trying to reposition this location here, and there are a decent number of bunkers now. 4 bunkers on this front door, making it very, very difficult. And now in comes a drop, so a drop with now 4 Hellions coming into play, and Drewbie may get more kills once again. 4 Hellions simply running into that middle line, getting one SCV. Another group of SCVs now coming down. Siege tank needs to be trained up in order to try to stop those Hellions, as Marines are not going to be a very strong counter either. And Marines now trying to come in. Siege tank of Jinro is going to be the major damage dealer here, trying to get some damage onto those Hellions, and those Hellions able to just barely escape and get the heck out of dodge. So that one medevac, and with those 4 Hellions dealing a lot of damage, and now Jinro is in trouble. So very nice transition coming in from Mass Marine and Hellion into Banshee, and now a medevac drop of 4 Hellions, and it looks as though Drewbie wants to try to do the same thing against TLO. TLO does have 1 missile turret here, so that 1 missile turret should be able to, if he drops at the wrong location, will be able to get a lot of damage onto this one medevac. That medevac's simply wandering around. I do not believe he knows where that missile turret is. Does he know? He does see that there was a missile turret that was placed down there, so he's not going to try to drop from that backside. There is 1 missile turret here though, but that is only within range to take down some Banshees, and that is it. So that one missile turret here, and now we're gonna see a drop of Hellions. Hellions all coming in over here once again, getting some damage onto that one refinery. Refinery now coming in. SCVs are gonna get toasted in just a second. Down goes 2 of those SCVs. Marines now coming in over, and now trying to shoot on the medevac. Medevac does get shot down though. So wow, very, very expensive loss right there, as TLO is trying to set up multiple missile turrets across the map in order to make sure that Drewbie is not able to get multiple drops all over the place. Zergling's now trying to take down the gold rocks on the south side. Will be able to in just a moment, and down it goes. So we should see another hatchery coming here in just a moment as well. Taking a look at the economy, decent economy by all players. Drewbie and Catz 38-45 compared to 51 and 34. So economically speaking, Jinro is the one that's currently behind, but he is mining more gas, or he is mining a decent number of gas as well. Back over here, he also doesn't have any mules currently in play. Perhaps he just scanner swept somewhere across the map, so that is the reason why Team Liquid is still a little bit behind. We do see 1 Marine here, and now a medevac with 8 Marines going to try for another drop, and now Root just buying themselves a lot of time with these drops here, and now in come these Marines. Marines are being stimmed one at a time, coming down, and now in comes that Viking. A Viking now going to try to shoot down and that one medevac. The medevac's days are going to be numbered, as those Marines are running after those SCVs. SCVs are just standing there taking a beating, and now SCVs finally coming around the corner in order to deal more damage. Medevac is coming in to deal some healing, and some SCVs were trying to give chase towards the medevac. There is a Viking over here. The Viking is just out of range though, so unable to do any shooting there. Marauders finally coming over to try to lend a Punisher grenade and able to take that down. We now see Catz sitting on a decent sized army at the front door. Both sides, 2200, 1050, 2400, 1800. So Liquid still has a little bit of a stronger army at this stage. And now production wise, we are going into the Greater Spire. So we are going to be seeing Broodlords, already 9 Corruptors in the air, and those Broodlords will be able to deal a lot of damage if there are not enough Vikings in the air to counter them. There are also a decent number of Marine siege tanks, perhaps going to try to activate this Xel'Naga Watchtower here, and it should be able to activate that Xel'Naga Watchtower without any serious trouble, and then continue to move out. So we may see another sieging over here as an SCV. Oh wait, there was 1 Marine that was trying to build a command center. Command center now being built by Drewbie, or it will be in just a moment. Zerglings got in its way, so it was unable to place down that command center. Siege tanks on the high ground, Marines also lending some support as well. Siege tanks over here, missile turrets are in play, but those missile turrets are not going to do a thing against those Broodlords. We currently have the cloaking field now being researched by Jinro, but that is the wrong tech path by Jinro. We need to see more Vikings, as we are now getting 7 Broodlords, or 6 Broodlords currently morphing into play. Those Broodlords are going to be able to deal a load of damage very, very easily. Zergling's now coming down over here, making sure that there is no expansion. Going to move back off to the north. Where are those Broodlords? Broodlords are very, very slow. And I'm surprised that Catz tried to morph in his Broodlords so far away from the battle. If he had morphed in his Broodlords here, the Marines would have offered plenty of protection, especially since they have the level 1 weapons upgrade. Against any Vikings, and those Broodlords would have just come out with a lot of health. So now Catz getting what, an army of 6 Broodlords right now. Yeah, 7 Broodlords now on the move, and those Broodlords are going to be able to deal a lot of damage, especially against those siege tanks, where those Broodlings are going to end up splashing and causing those siege tanks to splash against themselves, or perhaps even against the Marauders and Marines. So this is going to be a very, very bad sight. Zergling's now trying to run up the ramp. We'll be able to finish off one of those Marines. Now trying to finish off the Marauders. Marauders will get taken down, but Team Liquid does not know the pain they are about to be in. So we currently have, what, 11 Marauders here. A lot of Broodlords here, 7 Broodlords, and it does also have Viking support. So Viking Broodlord, a very, very dangerous combination coming in from a Terran Zerg, and the damage should be very, very high, especially as more Broodlords are being hatched, and now a scanner sweep quickly revealing what is the strategy. And now we need to see definitely more Vikings being trained. You can see 2 additional starports by TLO, also getting the level 1 ship upgrades as those Broodlords are on the move. We now currently have 1 Banshee in the air. Jinro trying to get some damage onto those siege tanks. Siege tanks, one of them may get taken down, perhaps even 2, unless a scanner sweep quickly comes in. It does not look like it will be in there in time, so that Banshee is getting that damage there. Marauders and Marines getting cleaned up over there by those Broodlords, but these siege tanks are now getting taken down very, very easily as well. Marauders were able to stop this expansion. The command center is on fire in the air, as the Broodlords are now simply making their way across the field. I do not see enough Vikings in order to deal with these Broodlords just quite yet. So this is going to be a multiple grouped attack of Broodlords. Marines now trying to come in. They need a stim to get underneath, and now try to stim underneath and get one of those Broodlords. 1 Broodlord is shot down. A second Broodlord shot down as well. So massive number of Marines able to clean up 3 Broodlords over here, but in come the Vikings. Viking was in ground mode for some strange reason, as these Marines now need to come out and deal some damage. There are some Marines over here. Scanner sweep revealing not too much at all, as those Marines need to get underneath and try to start damaging those Broodlords. Broodlords are getting shot down out of the sky by Marines. Marines are 2-2 upgraded, so they do deal a lot of damage. Vikings now coming in the ground mode as well, trying to offer some support, as there are no Vikings from Team Liquid at all. Siege tanks now coming over as well. They need to start sieging up. However, that is going to cause their own bunkers to start taking damage as well, as those Marines are now trying to give chase. Once again, siege tanks over here starting to blast away at the siege tanks of Liquid and Jinro. TLO and Jinro. This is just not looking very good at all, especially with that fleet of Vikings in the air offering protection. A patrolling group of Vikings making sure that no units are going to be able to get within combat range of those units. Siege tanks need to slowly make their way over, trying not to take too much splash damage. Siege tanks are going to be splashing over here, taking a lot of damage, taking down those, but now Banelings and Zerglings coming in, and this is not looking good at all. Vikings over here, but Liquid says GG. So Team Liquid losing Game 5 here on Monolith Ridge against a very, very good 2v2 game. I really like the transitioning, the constant transition and the constant change in strategy that Root was able to do. They opened up with early Zergling Hellion, and after found that their opponents had bunkered themselves up very, very well, they transitioned into Banshees, so that Banshee play, and then Banshee Hellion drops. After transitioning into Banshee Hellion drops and keeping the economies on hold for a small short amount of time, they were able to come in with a fleet of Vikings and some Broodlords. Those Vikings actually turned out to be better in ground mode, as mass Marines, 2 upgraded Marines were used in order to combat and deal with those Broodlords. Those Broodlings don't deal nearly as much damage against higher armor units, just because Broodlings don't have, I believe they only do 4 damage per attack. Is there a Broodling anywhere where I can click on? No, cannot click on a Broodling, but wait, is that it? Yeah. Broodlings do deal 4 damage per attack. They do attack relatively quickly as well, attacking faster than a Zergling. but when they're trying to deal damage towards a 2/2 upgraded Marine that I believe Liquid had, or yeah, that TLO had, it doesn't deal that much damage. So really, really well played. I like to see these longer 2v2 games. It was only 19 minutes, but still it was long enough to see a lot of variety in units. Broodlords with Vikings, Siege Tanks, Banelings. Very, very well played. The teamwork of Root being shown here. And now an update here. We have Root taking Game 5 in this series and Root winning 4-1 against Team Liquid. So it looks as though, and if trying to take a look at the numbers, what will be happening, and even without the rest of the games being finished, if Root and EG still needs to play to see who will be able to take that first place title. But even if Root loses to, and Root should also be playing Prime to see if Root should also play Prime as well to figure out if they're going to be first or second place. But Team Liquid has only won 2 of its matches, and because of the tiebreakers, I do not believe Team Liquid is in it anymore. So the finals are going to be Root versus EG. I'll have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, Root winning 4-1 against Team Liquid, meaning that even if this goes to a best of 7 series and best of 7 series here, oh no, even if if this goes to a best of 7 series, Team Liquid will have essentially lost more games because they lost more games here and lost all of their games elsewhere. Only 2 losses here. So yeah, I have charts for the tiebreakers. I don't want to try to explain it to you because it's a little bit distracting, but I do believe the finals will be Root versus EG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Time for me to send out some emails so that players know what exactly is happening, and we will get the finals started next week. I'll let you know right now, all the games for the finals will be posted on Machinima Realm, not my own channel, not YouTube / BlizzShouter. So you'll have to check out Machinima Realm for the finals. I will be making updates, and I will be making updates to the annotations as well to let you guys know when the finals are up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the round robin prelims between these 5 great clans. It's been awesome to watch, awesome to cast, and awesome to share it with you.